All right, so now you understand the basics of ChatGPT, and now it's time to get advanced. Let's get a little ninja with it. So, in this video, we're going to talk about some strategies on how to train ChatGPT as an employee in your business. And we're going to talk about some advanced prompts that you can use for your tourism business, for example, for social media. But the first thing I really want you to wrap your head around is the difference between the free version of ChatGPT and the paid plus version of ChatGPT. Currently, the plus version costs $20 per month. I use the plus version of ChatGPT, and here's why. So the free version can give some delays in replies during peak times. The plus version runs on a more advanced GPT model, which will give you faster and more accurate results. Now, the plus version also lets you enter URLs in your prompt. So, for example, if you want to rewrite a blog post you found online, you don't have to copy and paste the text anymore. You basically just enter the URL and say, please rewrite. But most importantly, the plus version gives you the ability to train your chatbot to your needs, as if it's an employee for your business. Now, please note that ChatGPT is launching new features and improvements all the time. And maybe in a few weeks' time, this has all changed again. And in that case, I'll probably have to update this video. But for now, to summarize, if you want ChatGPT to become an employee of your company, I would recommend that you purchase a Plus account. Now let's dive in.
Okay, so we're inside of ChatGPT here. Now, the first thing I want to explain to you guys is the difference between customized ChatGPT and GPTs here. Okay, so first of all, customized ChatGPT. So customized ChatGPT is basically that you train your ChatGPT account to act in a certain way. So you can give it custom instructions on how to act in certain situations. So it says, what would you like ChatGPT to know about you to provide better responses? Now here, what I've done, I've just basically put the most important information about our business that I think this ChatGPT account needs to know to be able to do any task that I ask it correctly. Now, of course, this is very generic because it's for the whole account in whatever way you would use it. So also only have 1,500 characters to reply to this particular question. So you have to kind of keep it short. I would recommend always to put the website here as well, just because ChatGPT is able to also view over websites. So that just gives you kind of like a lot more information within a short bit of text. And then the next one is, how would you like ChatGPT to respond? So here I just kept it very simple for our account. I put tone of voice, friendly, funny, casual, slight Australian accent. You can go as deep as you want here, but in saying that, we will train specific AI assistants for specific tasks as well, which I'm going to show you in this video too. So this is just really generic for the whole account. Now that we're talking about this, I would personally recommend having one ChatGPT account for your business and for your business only. So I would personally like separate business use for ChatGPT and personal use, because what happens is that if you want to use this feature, customize ChatGPT, then it will automatically customize it as well for your personal use. Or if you're using it for personal use and you have this setting enabled in the settings, which I'll just quickly show you, personalization, memory. So if you have memory enabled, that means that while you're using ChatGPT, it's actually learning on the go. So this means that if you're using ChatGPT for personal queries as well, then it might get confused and mix up personal preferences with business preferences. Now, this, of course, if you only use it a little bit for your personal use here and there, it's not going to make a major impact, but it's just something to be aware of and to know. You can always toggle this off, of course, if you do prefer to just have one account. If you do use ChatGPT a lot for personal purposes as well, and you do want to keep them together, which is absolutely fine too, but in that case, I would recommend to turn memory off and to turn custom instructions off as well, and to just use GPTs, which I'm going to talk about now. So to just use GPTs for business purposes. So it's up to you. Both options are possible. My recommendation would be having one ChatGPT account for your business only, and then have a separate one for personal use. But once again, it's up to you. It's a personal preference, and it's your choice. Okay, so next we're going to talk about GPTs. Now, GPTs are basically different expert employees for your business that perform different tasks for you. So, as you can see in my ChatGPT account, I got a brand assistant, a social media assistant, a review assistant, and a website content creator. Now, I'll show you very soon how you go about setting these up for your business and training them for your business. But first, I want to share with you another tip. Now, I would recommend that you set up a Google Doc or Word document and write down all the information about your business that an employee would need to know to do their job accordingly. So imagine they are complete newbies and they don't know anything about your business yet. Include business description, tour descriptions, important terms and conditions, FAQs, examples of how to deal with common questions or concerns, examples of how to respond to common negative feedback, etc. You name it. The more details, the better. And yes, this takes a little bit of time, but once set up, this will be the core document we will be working with, training our future AI assistants and employees. Now, don't worry too much about missing important details because you can always go back to this later and make edits on the go. So, just like you train a real employee, you train your AI employees too. So, if they don't respond or act the way you want them to, you can always adjust or add to your instructions later. Now, one more thing to note: for now, I would recommend you to set up this document in Word or Google Docs. But once we set up your own AI chatbot, which we will be doing in the next video, you can use the chatbot account as the mother document for all things AI because the chatbot will need to be trained for all aspects of your business. So as you can see here, this is our document that we set up for our tour business, and we got it's not a beautifully set up document, and it doesn't have to be. It just needs to be all the information there. So yeah, if you scroll through this is just basically all our most important FAQs, terms and conditions. Now you don't want to make it too long either, because your AI workers will be reading through these every time they do a task. So the longer you make it, if you make it extremely long, it might potentially slow down your AI's work. So do make sure you just include all the important information, but don't go overboard either. Yeah. So now back in ChatGPT, and next I'll show you how to create your own GPTs for your business. Again, which are basically AI employees working for you. And I will also show you the GPTs I use for our tourism business. So on the top left here of your screen, you can see ChatGPT, which is basically just the dashboard, the main chat. So whenever you want to start a new chat, you're in a different chat, you will start again in a brand new one. You can click ChatGPT and you will go here. Now, under ChatGPT, you got the GPTs, like I mentioned previously in this video. Now, under your chat GPTs, you'll have Explore GPTs. Now, if you click on Explore GPTs, it will open up all the GPTs that are within ChatGPT. Now, people can make either public GPTs, they can make private GPTs, and they can make GPTs that are hidden to the public, but you can still share them with anyone you like. So you can see here, these ones are featured. So these are GPTs or employees or assistants or whatever name you will give it, made by some big companies. So for example, the video GPT by Vid is a AI video maker. So it literally generate videos for you using the Vid platform through ChatGPT. So they've made these little programs within ChatGPT that are great and to make the user experience better for their customers. Now you can play around with this. Canva is a very popular one. So of course Canva, you might know Canva, you might not know Canva, but Canva makes like flyers, logos, social media posts. It's like a design program. You can basically design anything with it. And this integration, you could basically call it an integration as well, a GPT. This integration with Canva makes that you can use ChatGPT to to just describe what kind of poster or logo or social media post you want to make, and then it automatically uses Canva to make it for you within ChatGPT. Now, at the moment I'm making this video, this is all pretty new, so some of these programs are not working amazingly perfect yet, but some are pretty some are pretty amazing already. I mean, it's all pretty amazing and mind-blowing what AI can do nowadays. But anyway, have a look around, play around with it, see if there's anything that would be helpful to you. But at the moment, the most important thing I think would be most helpful for your business would be building your own GPTs, especially for your business. I mean, you can lose a lot of time going through all this. All right, so if you want to make your own GPT, here on the top right, you have a button create. So when you click on create, it will either go, it will probably go to create first. So here you can basically use a prompt to build a GPT if you like to just describe it and build it that way. But personally, I like to go to configure. You can name your GPT. So mine are called Review Assistant, for example, but I'll show you exactly how I've set up mine very soon. But just so you can see here, you can type in all the details. And then once you've done that, you can test it here on the right if it's working the way you like it. And then you can click create. Again, you can always go back in and change these details or give other instructions if you notice that it's not working the way you want it to work. But this is just a quick example of how you make or create a new GPT. All right, so I'll now quickly show you how I set up mine. So if I go back and, for example, I click here on the brand assistant. So here, if I just click on it, it will open up my brand assistant. It says brand assistant for Epic Ocean Adventures. Now, if you do the arrow down here, add a GPT, you can actually see how it's set up on the back end. So as you can see, I called it brand assistant description, which is what comes underneath in the chat, brand assistant for Epic Ocean Adventures. So I've instructed it with our brand colors, tone of voice, and I mainly use this brand assistant to enhance images for me and also to add logos to images. So, for example, if we would take some good shots on our tours and we send them out to our uh, participants, then we like to add a logo to these images that if they use it, that the image is branded. Now, in the past, this was a bit of a time-consuming task, but nowadays you just throw it into ChatGPT and it does it for you, thanks to this AI brand assistant. So what I've put here is when you enhance images for me, please keep this in mind. Make the blue watercolor really stand out. Make the image brighter, plus 50. Make the colors more saturated, plus 50. Remove shadows from the images, plus 20. Now, these numbers, that's just to tell ChatGPT how much brighter you want to make the image. So usually this is pretty accurate for me, but of course it depends where you operate. If it's inside, outside, you might want to adjust this. If you do use it this way and you notice that it's always making the images way too bright or it needs to be brighter, you can always adjust this. So the higher the number here, the brighter it will make it. The lower the number, the less bright it will make it. Same with all the other things. Now you can of course go in a lot more detail here, especially if you have a background in editing and enhancing images. You might know a lot of other things you want to add here, but generally this is already giving a pretty amazing result, and I'll give you an example very soon. And then I also added, when adding a logo to the image, add the logo in the bottom right corner. Keep a gap from the image borders, 20 pixels, because if not, it will just put it all the way in the border, in the corner without any border. And then the width of the logo, 1/6 of the full width of the image. All right, so that's all I added here. Yeah, I uploaded the logo, of course, because it needs to add the logo. And then for the capabilities, usually by default, this is set to web browsing and DALL-E image generation. For this one, you do want to select as well code interpreter and data analysis, just because it's gonna work with putting images together, and it just needs it to work properly in this case. Okay, so once you've set it up, you can start testing. So you can either test it here in the preview, or you can just go back and you will see that it comes up here under your GPTs. So I'll just show you an example. So if I now just say enhance this image for me and add our logo, that's all I say. So if you would type that into an untrained chat, it would basically not know what to do because it doesn't have any of the information. But because we've trained this bot now, let's see which one I'm going to use. What about this one? It's a bit dull. Need some more brightness. All right, so we'll put this image in. Send. Now it will take a little bit, so I'll just quickly pause it while it's analyzing. All right, now that took maybe 30 seconds. I just didn't want to make you wait. So it was still reasonably fast. You click download file. Let's have a look now what this does. So as you can see, it made it a lot brighter, and it put the image, the logo in the bottom right corner. So that's pretty amazing, isn't it? All right, so now if you would like to do more images at once, that's possible too. You simply just upload more images at once, or you can even zip a folder or zip the images, uh, upload the zip file, and then it will send it back either as individual files to download. But if you wanted ChatGPT to send it back to you in a zip file as well, you just say to ChatGPT, "Can you please send these images to me in a zip file?" So you don't have to download them one by one, which, yeah, it's pretty helpful. You can always ask ChatGPT anything. Just keep that in mind. Sorry, I just realized the image wasn't showing during the screen record. So here you can see the image that was actually edited and enhanced by the GPT. So as you can see, the colors are a lot more bright, the watercolor is beautifully blue, and the logo is added to it as well. Okay, so the next GPT I want to talk about is our social media assistant. So here it is. Open social media assistant for Epic Ocean Adventures knows the most important information about our tours and the location where we operate. It's great at writing engaging captions and good real hooks. Now let's just have a look at this one. So edit GPT. So we configured it this way. We called it the social media assistant. Well, I just read the description to you. Now the instruction. Please be our expert social media assistant to help us with creation of social media captions, real hooks, and real video scripts, Facebook ads, copywriting, etc. Make sure all hooks and captions you create for us are very engaging, tone of voice, excited, funny, slight Australian accent. I would like you to use Australian spelling in all content. Ensure all communication is professional yet approachable with a touch of humor to keep it light and engaging. Please use a slight Australian accent where appropriate. Create social media posts that highlight the unique aspects of our tours using engaging captions that resonate with our target audience. Use hashtags that are relevant to the travel industry and specific to our destinations: Noosa, Noosa Heads, and Double Island Point. When writing content, please memorize the following business description and unique selling points of our business, and ensure you keep this information in mind when coming up with responses. So I added a short business description, I added our unique selling points, and I also mentioned our website. For the capabilities, I added all three of them. And okay, so that's how it's set up in the back. Now I'll show you an example of how it works. All right, now for this first example, I will give you an example of how you can use this social media assistant to generate relatable short quotes for travel reels, for example, for your business. Now, I'll copy the prompts down below the video so you can copy and paste them, but what I'll do is please create 52 sets of relatable short quotes about travel. Do not repeat any phrases. These should be quotes to promote our tour operator business and the location Double Island Point. This is the beach where we operate. These quotes need to be divided into two parts, where the first part is a hook and makes the reader intrigued to know the second part. That's the hook that you want for your reels, especially on TikTok and Instagram. Now, the language needs to be super simple and not flowery or preachy. Don't use complicated words. Also, please use an Australian accent if needed. You can use these two examples as a reference. Quote 1, first part. If you think you've seen it all. Second part. Wait till you explore this hidden gem. Quote 2, first part. When you crave a new adventure. Second part. Our tours will take you there. Now, please put these quotes in an Excel-like format with 3 columns: number, first part, second part. And why we want this in an Excel-like format is that we can easily copy and paste that into our social media scheduling tool, or we can integrate it with Zapier or with Canva and other tools. So it's a lot better for automation and to just copy and paste it in a Google Sheet if we want. It's just a lot easier to work with. So we'll just run this. It's analyzing. And now, as you can see, it created this Excel-like table with travel quotes. So you got first part, second part. I think you've seen it all. Wait till you paddle with dolphins at Double Island Point. Dreaming of marine life encounters. Get up close with dolphins and turtles on our tours. Craving some quiet beach. Island Point is calling your name. So we got 52 options here, which would be one reel every week. So how you can use these is that the first part is the hook for the reel, and then the second part is the second part of the video where you show really good video shots, etc. So put this with some nice trending music, and you'll have an amazing reel for your TikTok and Instagram. And another way you can use the social media assistant is simply to create captions for videos and posts. So let's say, for example, I'm going to bulk schedule in my social media tool, which I'll show you in a different video, a whole heap of posts with dolphin kayaks, dolphin kayaking, so dolphins swimming around the kayaks, and I have different images or different videos for that. And I want to make a caption for each of those images. Let's say I got 20 images. I can say here to the social media assistant, please write 20 captions for me to promote our dolphin kayak tours at Double Island Point. Include lots of include phrases like um, meet the local wildlife, big pots of dolphins. Oh, oops, big. Have dolphins swim under your kayak. Meet dolphins, turtles, and whales up close. All right, we can also put tone of voice, funny and friendly. And then we'll say, please list these captions in an Excel like table. Just wait what it comes back with. And here you go. It came back with a Excel-like table. Paddle alongside big pots of dolphins at Double Island Point. Ready to meet the local wildlife? Join our dolphin kayak tours. Ever had dolphins swim under your kayak? And now's your chance. And now, for example, you could, if you want to add the hashtag Noosa or the hashtag visit Sunshine Coast, then of course you can tell him as well in your prompts to always add certain hashtags. Now, I put the hashtags usually in the first comment, which I do with my social media scheduling tool. That's why I didn't include it here. But yeah, depending on how you work, you can give it whatever prompt you need. So again, you can easily just copy this, like this, copy paste it into the bulk scheduler or into a Google Sheet or wherever you want to use it. So another great tool, another great way to use this social media assistant. Now, the next GPT I want to talk about is our review assistant. Now, this GPT replies to online reviews for our business Epic Ocean Adventures. Now, how I use this assistant most is to reply to negative reviews, just because the positive review replies I've already completely automated using a tool called Zapier. But if there is a negative one that I want to reply to myself, I would throw it into the review assistant first, give the review assistant a reply, and then if needed, I can adjust a little bit. But usually it comes back with a really good reply already. So if you click on Edit the GPT, I'll show you what it looks like on the back end. So it has name, review assistant, description I already told you. Please always prioritize customer satisfaction by providing accurate, helpful, and friendly responses based on our business values and services. Tone of voice, friendly, slight Australian accent. Always end your replies with warm regards, Susie, Epic Ocean Adventures. Keep these details about our company in mind while replying to reviews. And then it just gives lots of details about our business that I copied and pasted from the AI mode Word doc that I've showed you previously. And I just added all the most important information that they would need to take along when replying to a review. And of course, you can keep editing this. So if once you get a bad review and you want the bot to reply in a particular way, instead of having to edit the response every single time because the bot is not trained, you can change it here in the instructions and say, hey, if they have negative feedback about this feature of the tour, please respond in this way, and then it will always just automatically do it for you. So that's it. Now, last but not least, the website content creator helps with writing content for our website, knows all the important details about our tours, and most frequently asked questions. So I already showed you some examples for this, like, for example, to write a new product description for your websites, or a blog post for your website, or for as a guest post for someone else's website. So yeah, I mean, content creation speaks for itself, can be used for any website content creation. But I'll show you the back end of this one. Again, I'll put the prompts in the notes as well. Name, website content creation helps with writing content for our website. There's all the important details about our tours and most frequently asked questions. Please help us write content for our website. Tone of voice, friendly, funny, casual, Australian spelling. Length, keep the information short and to the point, divide longer content into short paragraphs. So why I include Australian spelling here is because if you don't, it will automatically use the US spelling, which is in a lot of words using the Z instead of the S, for example, or the O instead of OU. So that's why I usually put Australian spelling here, at least if it's for an Australian business. If you're in the US, of course, I wouldn't do that. All right, so please keep this in mind while when writing the content. And again, here I put all the important information that I think this GPT needs to know to be able to write content, related to our business. And that's it for this video. So now you got some advanced tactics to use with ChatGPT for your business. I hope you find it helpful, and I hope that you will start creating your own GPTs for your business. So these are just 4 examples that I personally use for our business, but of course the options are endless. If there's anything else that you do a lot in your business where you think you need a AI assistant for, go for it. Set it up, train it based in the instructions, based on your needs with your business information, and it will do the work for you.